Hey there, YouTube. It's Brain Freeze Laser, and I just watched Mikkivlogz rant about basically why people want to be YouTubers. And I guess my response is because I saw my friends doing. I'm friends with Galactic God. I've been friends with him for a really long time. We used to go to school together, and he started doing YouTubing, and I just saw how much fun it looked like. And Mikkivlogz was talking about you know how YouTubers take a lot of slack, and how Yugi players are kind of dumb. And so I kind of have a really similar opinion about that, about how a lot of, okay, what you first have to consider is that Yugi players are kids. Yugi players are kids. So, they're from ages 9 or 8 to 16 to whatever, and then adults. I'm an adult. I'm fairly old, I guess you could say. But, I act like a kid. So, I like to play Yugi. It's fun. It's fast-paced. There's some cool interactions and combos. But I like Magic a lot better. I like the community of Magic a lot better. I like the way that Wizards of the Coast treats its players and the stuff that they put out. I like, the response that you can get from that company. I like the way that the players treat each other. Well, the ones that aren't, socially awkward for the most part. And I think that community is a lot better than Yu-Gi-Oh's community. Suffice it to say, that might not be something that you want to hear, but when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, and you play against some kid that comes up and wants to hustle you out of your dad, or wants to hustle you out of your tour guide, or whatever, that doesn't happen as often in Magic. It just doesn't happen like you don't expect it to happen. You don't expect somebody to come up to you and be like, hey, let me get that Jace. Hey, let me get that Primeval Titan. Let me get that whatever, Tameo or Liliana or whatever is the hot card at the time. They don't really. The people do want it, but they'll pay what it's worth, and they'll trade what it's worth. And sometimes you get a good deal out of it. Sometimes you'll get somebody who just wants something because they like what it does, and that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. But usually, you feel bad afterwards because the person you just traded was an 8-year-old kid who didn't know what was up, and that's usually how you plus. When you make trades. But I'm not really trying to tell you how to make trades. I'm just trying to tell you that Mikkivlogz makes a lot of good points about the community being really awful. And you see what Konami does. Last format, people were just up in arms about how awful the ban list was. And essentially, I've made a video. Mikkivlogz has talked about it. Galactic God has talked about it. Slim has talked about it. Mega Capital G. I'm pretty sure all the big Yugi tubers have told Yugi, all the Yugi players that watch their videos, Konami does it to make money. And Magic does it too, but they do it in such a way that it's not like crazy. It's not like where, oh my god, now I got to buy a whole brand new deck. A lot of the time when they cycle a set, you get to keep a lot of the cards that you already have, and then cards that you have that weren't playable before become playable again because they reprinted it or something. So you can play your old, Alpha whatever. You can play your old Birds of Paradise because it just came out again in the new set. So now you can play the old art Birds of Paradise because they just came out with the new Birds of Paradise. So it makes them both legal. But that doesn't happen in Yugi. If they come up with Dark Revelations or Dark Beginnings or whatever, and they reprint Pot of Greed or Graceful Charity or BLS at one point, when he wasn't off the list, then you were asked out essentially, and you didn't get to use that card. So the Konami, not the Konami, but so much the community isn't as good as it could be. I have a lot of faith in. I can't really say that I have a lot of faith in Konami to make it better, but it's basically up to us, and showing Konami that some things aren't acceptable, and and telling other players that some things aren't acceptable. When somebody comes up to you and tries to hustle you out of a card or out of a game or cheats you or stacks or whatever, you have to be aware that that's going on, and the more that people are aware of it, then the less likely it'll happen. That's why I make my Yu-Gi-Oh 101 videos, to show you guys basic stuff that maybe newer players don't really know, or older players have forgotten that exists. So essentially, that's why I make Yu-Gi-Oh videos. YouTube videos that are Yu-Gi-Oh related, Yu-Gi-Oh videos, because I feel like there's a lot of information that people don't know, and that would benefit from watching my videos. And then then I have fun stuff that I just think's interesting, or card reviews, set reviews of cool ass cards in the sets or whatever. And I try to keep my videos pretty clean. This is kind of a rant, so I'm just talking, you know, off my head or whatever. I didn't really think super far ahead when I made this video, but you know, usually that's essentially why I make videos, because I think I have some at least semi-valuable information that somebody is going to benefit from in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, you know, and that's essentially it. So basically, all those names I mentioned, I'm gonna, you know, put in the description bar at some point, and you should go check out all their channels because they're all awesome. But essentially, yeah, I YugiTube because I think there's information that people don't know and can benefit from. And so that's about it. Just thanks for watching, guys, and as always, you can subscribe to my channel to see when I put out a new video.